Die Kuh hat Flecken. The cow has freckles. The cow has, and not freckles, spots. Okay, I can buy that. Die Kuh hat Flecken. If you are using Duolingo to learn German or another language, I've got something today I'd like to show you, especially if you're learning German. And Schmuck is jewelry. Fun fact, the English word that we say all the time, Schmuck, is actually related to this word, and it comes to us through Yiddish, and it refers to the family jewels. My name's Thomas. I have been learning foreign languages for 30 years, and I'd like to share some of the things that I've learned over those years here with you today. What I'd like to share with you today is part of a series of live streams that I did with Duolingo and German, and I show a little bit about how I use Duolingo and how you can use Duolingo to get more out of it, plus some of the information behind the grammar and the other information that you need to know to understand what's going on in those German sentences. Since I've done these with other languages, some people find them useful for listening to in the car. That way you can work on some of your Duolingo sentences while keeping your eyes on the road, or exercising, or that sort of thing. If you are using Duolingo to learn German, leave me a comment down below what sections you're working on, what sort of things you'd like to see, what questions you have about the German language. One of the neat things about these live streams that I did is I had several native speakers come in and follow along and give feedback while I was going. I am a language teacher online and also a language learner. At the time when I was making this video, I was kind of in the middle. I was learning German and I was helping teach German at the same time. So you'll see that as you go through the video. I like to, when I'm working on a language, when I'm practicing, it's good to say these out loud. So I would recommend that even if you're watching it here, as long as you're not at work at your desk with a bunch of people, say these sentences out loud. Get your mouth used to pronouncing the sentences. It's not enough just to look at it and think in your head, oh, I know what that says, right? It's good to get your mouth going because it's through speaking that our brain processes language, and we use all our senses that way. Remember, there's a gear icon down below. If the replay seems a little bit too slow, you can always speed it up a little bit. You might find it helpful to bring up your own Duolingo and work on Duolingo while listening to this at the same time. So my biggest tip on using Duolingo, getting the most out of it, is to make sure you're checking this light bulb icon, clicking on it. And it's available on the web version, so you can see your tips and notes. It gives you information on some of the grammar behind the exercises that you're working on. It's very helpful. So make sure you're checking that. Even it's good enough. It's a good reason to log in from time to time. I think I'm going to start with directions. So I'm going to do the key icon to test out. Jump to level 2. All right. All right, she is coming inside. One thing I like to say is, so when I do these multiple choice ones, I always look at the last word and see if I can find something that looks right. I click on it, then I read the sentence. Sie kommt herein. She is coming inside. I know that's correct, so I can go forward. Left is incorrect. Falsch. Links ist falsch. Yep. East and west. How do you say east and west in German? East, Osten und Westen. All right.
Osten und Westen.
Osten und Westen. That's easy because we just did it. Osten is what? East and west. Fahren Sie, is it voraus or voraus? And then what does it mean? Think about that for a second. Fahren Sie voraus? I think it's drive straight ahead. Drive ahead. Please go away. This actually reminds me of something. Geh, so that's our clue that it starts with a capital G. It means it's either the first word of the sentence or a noun. And please, bitte weg. Geh bitte weg. This reminds me when I was in my German class so many years ago. We were doing an exercise where we had to tell the story of Little Red Riding Hood. And there was one student in the class that didn't quite understand what the point of the exercise was. So we were going around in turn telling different lines of the story, right? So she's got these treats and she's going to grandma's house, and the wolf beats her to the wolf eats grandma and sitting in the bed, and the wolf says, and then we turned to the student, or the teacher turned to the student who didn't know what was going on, and the teacher said, "Geh weg." And we had a good laugh about that, telling grandma to go away, or the wolf in grandma's clothing to go away. Anyway, all right. In Norden ist es selten. I don't know if you guys can hear the speaker going. By the way, I'm noticing, I've read in some of the discussions, there's a new voice in the German sentences, and this is what she sounds like.
Im Norden ist es selten.
Im Norden ist es selten. In the north. Aha, it is rare in the north. There we go. There's our capital I. It is rare in the north. And apparently in English we capitalize the ends on north, south, east, and west. And I think sometimes my German would be better if my English were better, but there we go.
Er rennt im Haus herum.
Er rennt im Haus herum, right? So I'm saying these sentences out loud. Er rennt im Haus herum. That way I get practice speaking. My ears get practice listening. I'm learning with my whole body, or at least certainly from my ears to my mouth, and that helps you remember better, helps you learn better. All right. Er rennt im Haus herum. What does that mean? He runs around the house. He runs around the house. Any questions about that? He returns the hat. Er gibt den Hut zurück. That's probably not right. Er gibt den Hut zurück. Yeah, I was hesitating over whether it's der Hut, die Hut, or das Hut. It seems that it is der Hut. Mein Hut, hat 3 Ecken. 3 Ecken hat mein Hut. Der Hut. An accusative case, den Hut. The East, Osten. Der Osten.
Ja. Wo ist der Süden?
Wo ist der Süden? What does that mean? Wo ist der Süden? It's a weird sentence. Some of these sentences don't seem all where is the south? I mean, I can't, in my life, I don't think I've ever said where is the south. Which way is south, maybe? All right. In the south, im Osten, im Süden, im Süden.
Rein oder raus?
Rein oder raus? Rein oder raus? Are you going inwards or outwards? All right, what does that mean in English? In or out? Rein or raus? Heraus aus meinem Haus. Geh weg, Oma. Du bist ein Wolf und du darfst nicht hier sein. Heraus aus meinem Haus. Get out of my house. Get out of my house. Sie geht hinaus. She goes out. She, and when I do these, when I type these exercises in German, I would always type she goes out and Duolingo takes it. Even though in English I would say it in this way, she is going out. That's more of a question about English. And so when I work on a language, I'm usually focusing on, do I understand what it's saying, and can I get the English close enough so that the system will take it? I don't worry about the English being perfect. See, now here's the English question. Why is north lowercase here and it was capital than the other one? Don't know.
Aus welcher Richtung?
Aus welcher Richtung? Aus welcher Richtung? Aus means out of, or in this case from. Welcher Richtung? Which direction? From which direction? So I'm pretty sure, yeah, Richtung would be a feminine noun. Aus, außer, bei, mit, nach, Zeit, von, zu. Aus, außer, bei, mit. Those are dative prepositions. I was going to say this a little later. I made some notes to talk about different things. Although, thinking back to my when I learned German in college, my German teacher said that the class that we were working on was considered a communicative course. Right, the purpose of the course was to learn how to communicate in German. But he said, ultimately, I don't know any way to teach someone to communicate in German without grammar, right? So it's learning what the dative prepositions are. And the way we did that, we read it like a catechism, Aus, außer, bei, mit, nach, Zeit, von, zu. Aus, außer, bei, mit, nach, Zeit, von, zu. And we said that over and over again until we could repeat it like a catechism. So anyway, aus is a dative preposition, so die Richtung becomes der Richtung, aus der Richtung, aus welcher Richtung. There we go.
Die Richtung.
Die Richtung. Oh, there it is. There's the answer to my previous question, the direction. Ja, dankon Hali, 67. Via Germana pronunciado estas tre bona. Das heißt, deine Aussprache. And I have a playlist here, and it starts with this video, which is one of my, actually at this point, it's my most popular, most watched video. And it's called How I Became Fluent in Esperanto. I would like to do one, How I Became Fluent in German, that covers a lot of the same material. But if you are a German learner, or learning any language really, even if you don't have an interest in Esperanto, you might want to take a look at that video and or the playlist, which would be which has the sequels to that video, the missing parts, where I talk about what I did to become fluent in Esperanto, and the same techniques apply when you're learning any language. Du bringst mich langsam dazu, Esperanto zu lernen. Ja, das würde Spaß machen. That would be a lot of fun. Rio Dan the Ninth says, do you practice German differently from the way you practice Spanish or Esperanto? Do you have supplemental material? And so I said basically yes, because with Spanish I'm learning Spanish, so that's the reason why I do those live streams, is to learn my Spanish. Esperanto, I speak Esperanto very well. It's second nature to me, so I'm kind of in teacher mode when I'm doing those. In German, somewhere in the middle. I need practice getting longer periods in German. Vielleicht sollte ich auch lieber auf Deutsch schreiben. Schließlich ist das Thema. Ja, das stimmt. Das stimmt. Wir sind hier, Deutsch zu üben und zu lernen. What I have been doing is I've been working backwards through the tree, trying to make these goals. I'm going to do a test out on Future 4. Again, we want to check out the lesson, power of machen. It says we can use machen in all sorts of expressions, such as aufmachen, to open, zumachen, to close, besser machen, to improve, wegmachen, entfernen. All right, as a fallback, it can help you to just continue speaking. Ich muss den Brief noch machen. Very bad German, but people will get what you mean. Well, it's better to speak bad German than to stop speaking. Actually, you know what? I think I would agree with that point, where the whole point is just to communicate, not to be perfect, right? And I don't correct people during that stage. The whole point is just to get the practice getting the words out in real time. So yeah, I don't necessarily disagree with that advice given by the Duolingo folks. All right, here we go. Jump to level 4.
Großvater und ich werden für den Baum sorgen.
Großvater und ich werden für den Baum sorgen. Großvater und ich werden für den Baum sorgen. Everyone knows what that means? Grandfather and I, grandpa, I'm going to say grandpa, and I will, werden is future tense, sorgen, will take care of the tree. Maybe they might want care for the tree. Yeah, another correct solution, grandfather and I will take care of the tree. Großvater und ich werden für den Baum sorgen. Italy will win. Italien wird gewinnen.
Italien wird gewinnen. Italien wird gewinnen.
Can you hear that okay?
Italien wird gewinnen.
Italien wird gewinnen. Let's try the turtle speed.
Italien wird gewinnen.
I like the way she emphasized the A. Italien wird gewinnen. All right, I'm going to try to type that. Italien wird gewinnen. Yeah, Italy will win. Good for Italy. Grandfather and I will ensure that everything runs smoothly. All right, so without checking the tiles, Großvater und ich werden bestätigen, werden, what's another word for ensure? Wir werden sicher machen, ob alles klappt. All right, let's see what my choices are. Großvater und ich. Grandfather and I, Großvater und ich, will ensure that everything runs smoothly. Werden, that's easy. Werden sorgen dafür. Werden dafür sorgen. There we go. Werden dafür sorgen, dass alles klappt. Dass alles gut läuft. Dass alles rund läuft. This is another expression that I'm not familiar with, but I've got to think that's correct. Großvater und ich werden dafür sorgen, dass alles rund läuft. Alles läuft rund. All right, that must mean everything runs smoothly. Alles läuft rund. That's another new one on me. There we go. Wir werden die Fotos ansehen. All right, I didn't have to. Well, now that I've clicked on, I want to make sure it's right. Ansehen. We will look at the pictures. Absehen means we'll look away from them. Aussehen means to look out from them. So it's got to be ansehen. There we go. We will look at the photos. Er wird meine Wünsche erfüllen. He will fulfill my wishes. Both.
Ich werde es nicht vermeiden.
Vermeiden. I've heard that word before. I don't know what it means.
Ich werde es nicht vermeiden.
Ich werde es nicht vermeiden. I will not regret it. I will not envy it. I will not vermeiden. We'll find out in a second. Ich werde es nicht vermeiden. I am not going to avoid it. Okay. Ich werde es nicht vermeiden. I will not avoid it.
Großvater und ich
Ich werde die Zeitung lesen. I will. What's it? Die Zeitung. I will read the newspaper.
Wir werden übernehmen.
Wir werden übernehmen. Now, question is there a dot on the I don't.
Wir werden übernehmen.
I think it is über. We will take over. Now, actually, I have a question for you guys watching. Übernehmen. My first thought when I read that had to do with passing somebody on the expressway. Is that übernehmen, to overtake somebody, to pass somebody that way? Or does it mean we're going to take over a project and, now I'm going to be in charge of it? What does übernehmen mean? Or can it be used in both of those circumstances? Wir werden übernehmen. We will take over the project. Okay. So you can't use übernehmen to talk about passing, like one car passing another. Überschreiten. What's the word for passing somebody on the expressway? Übernehmen signifas preni taskon aŭ laboron de iu. All right, good. So we just said above. Mi volas lerni la hispanan. So CJ, überholen. Yeah, it's so funny. It's like I hear this stuff and I'm like, of course, I know that. Ich überhole das rote Auto auf das Autobahn. Danke. Rangel Gotardi is asking, why are you learning German again? I've put enough time into learning German over the years that it sometimes seems a shame to let it sort of rust away and be forgotten. And it's nice to be able to speak it when I want to. Be able to, I want to get to the point where I can, if I see somebody who speaks German, I can speak German to them without going, oh shoot, it's going to take me 2 days to remember how to speak German again. And another thing, I'd like to start teaching German. I teach Esperanto and I teach English online through italki, and I've had one student actually approach me directly and ask if I could teach her some German. What are the names of the different countries in German, like England, Spain, Spanien, France, Frankreich? Oh, Holly. Oh, there we go. Holly already answered that question. Danke, Holly. Is German as hard as they say? I found German surprisingly easy. I learned German when I was in my early 20s in college. And my dad had learned German in college, and he would throw a few words at me, Gute Nacht, that sort of thing. And I never got beyond that. But it was enough, so I sort of felt a special feeling for German. Once you get beyond memorizing some of these three genders for the nouns, that takes a little bit of effort. Some of the declensions, der deutsche Mann, die deutsche Frau. But beyond that, when you start getting into some of the tenses, the obscure tenses, they're exactly like English. So if you say, I have gone, and you change have to had, you get I had gone. German works the exact same way. Wir werden das Hotel finden. You know what? In fact, this might be an example. Somebody was asking, do you find German easy or difficult? We will find the hotel. So this is a good example of what I'm talking about when I found why I said I found German to be very easy, right? So we have a sentence like wir werden das Hotel finden. So werden means become, and in this context it means will, right? So literally you just say, you can plug in each word and there's a corresponding English word. The one thing that's a little funny is you've got to learn that German likes to move verbs and or verb parts to the end. And now I'm sure if we looked in a grammar book, they would use specialized language for what that means, but that's ultimately how it makes sense to me, right? So in this case, wir werden Right? If I want to say I'm finding the hotel, I could say ich finde das Hotel. But if I want to say I will find the hotel, part of that verb has to go to the end. If you learn that, the rest of it just falls in place from the habits that you have in English. Wir werden das Hotel finden. We will notify you. Wir werden, and then the verb has to go on the end, right? So we have to say, we will you notify. So we will you notify is what it's going to be. And we, wir is we, will, werden. Wir werden notify. We will you notify. So which word means you? Dich. Wir werden dich notify. Informieren.
Wird nicht Ja sagen.
Er wird nicht Ja sagen. So, again, part of that verb got pushed to the end. Er wird nicht Ja sagen. So er is what? He, will, nicht Ja sagen. So sagen. Well, he will say not yes. It's not good English, right? So he will not say yes. We need to improve our diet. Wir müssen, and again, the verby thing gets pushed to the end. Our diet. We need our diet improve. That's how that's going to come out. Unsere what? Ernährung. There it is. I was trying to go off the top. Wir müssen unsere Ernährung verbessern. Wir müssen unsere Ernährung verbessern. Fun fact. My 10-year-old son is watching the stream with me as he tries to learn English. Good. You know what? Actually, I think that's great, and I would love to do more English on this channel. I've been sort of trying to figure out how I can make it work. If doing streams in English is helping people learn English, I think that's great. And so I will try to make sure I'm using good English, or certainly natural English, the kind of English that you'll hear in the part of the country where I live, part of the U.S. Clothing. All right, again, if you're starting a new lesson, you haven't done it before, use the light bulb icon so you can get these tips and notes. I'm not going to read these in detail, but it talks about the difference between Kleider or das Kleid. Das Kleid means the dress, which reminds me of a tongue twister that I learned that I really enjoy. Blaukraut bleibt Blaukraut und Brautkleid bleibt Brautkleid. That is, purple cabbage will always be purple cabbage, and a wedding dress will always be a wedding dress. Although I do know somebody who had a eggplant colored wedding dress because she is obsessed with purple. Sometimes purple cabbage can be a wedding dress. But anyway, das Kleid means the dress, and die Kleider means the clothes. Wait, die Kleider means the dresses, and die Kleider can also mean clothes or clothing. Kleidung. I was thinking Kleidung. Hose or Hosen. Both Hose and Hosen translate to pants. And if you're British, I don't mean underwear. I just clicked on it because I saw that dress was the last word. I'm going to read it now. Das Mädchen hat ein Kleid. The girl has a dress. The girl has a dress. There we go. The girls have hats. Hüte. They all end in hats. Haben. So it can't be hat because that's wrong. Die Mädchen haben. Die Mädchen haben. So yeah, so if the one thing is, and this is what I was saying before, it's difficult to learn German if you don't actually pull up a grammar table and learn these things, right? So haben is the form of the verb you'll find in the dictionary. Ich habe, du hast, sie es hat, wir haben, ihr habt, sie haben. Right, and you got to get to the point where you can just do that. I think that's good advice. So outside of Duolingo, with your grammar book or your lesson, whatever it is you're using, make sure you're reciting those conjugations. Die Mädchen haben. The girls have. And it's haben because it's more than one girl. Frauen und Männer tragen Schmuck. Frauen und Männer. Frauen, women, und Männer, and men. Tragen can be carry or wear. Women and men make jewelry. Wear jewelry. Frauen und Männer tragen Schmuck. Yeah, and again, it's silly to me that we're getting the same sentence 2 in a row like this on a test out, but I think they only have so many sentences this far in the course for the upper crown levels. Sie haben Hemd, ein Hemd. Ein Hemd, right? So the question is, what is the plural of Hemd? Hemde, Hemder. It's not it's not Hemden. I think it's Hemde with an E on the end. I'm not sure. Hemden. They have shirts. Hemden. So the word hat and hut are very similar in German. I know this because I have a flashcard to try to help me remember this, and I've forgotten. I think Hute. I think Hüte with the dots is plural for hats, and Hüten is plural for huts. I'm going to find out. Yes, so Hüte is Hüte. Die Männer tragen Hüte, hats.
Die Ringe sind rund.
Die Ringe sind rund. Die Ringe sind rund. That's catchy. I want to hear that again.
Die Ringe sind rund.
Die Ringe sind rund. The rings are round. The rings are round.
Die Kosmetik.
Die Kosmetik. That's got to be easy. The cosmetics, right? I don't have to think about that one.
Die Tasche ist fertig.
Die Tasche ist fertig. The bag is done. All right, I'm going to see if I can rush through these to get these done before I run out of time here. The skirt is from Vienna. Der Rock. Der Rock. Der Rock ist aus Wien. Wien, ja. Der Rock ist aus Wien.
Aus Wien.
The boys have shoes. Die Jungen haben Schuhe.
Ich trage ein Kleid und du trägst einen Rock.
Ich trage ein Kleid und du trägst einen Rock. I'm not going to type that all out. We have coats. Wir haben Mäntel. Mäntel's got to be the plural because Mantel is singular. Wir haben Mäntel. The dots change it from Mantel to Mäntel.
Der Ring.
Der Ring. The ring. I'm trying to get the easy ones done so I can whip through this. Trägt eine Jacke. Trägt eine Jacke. Ich trage, du tragst. Ich trage, du trägst. Sie es trägt. Wir tragen, tragt, sie tragen. You gotta find those in your grammar book and practice them to get through this without thinking.
Die Hosen sind klein.
Die Hosen sind klein. The pants are small. Pants are small. Die Hosen sind klein.
Der Knopf.
The Knopf, the button. And I think this can be a push button. I think it's a shirt, a button on a shirt. Knöpfe.
Die Knöpfe sind klein.
Die Knöpfe sind klein. The buttons are small. Die Knöpfe. Knopf, Knöpfe. The buttons are small. I have another heart left, so I can get, if there's another long...
Flecken. Es ist Schmuck.
Es ist Schmuck. He's a schmuck. Es ist Schmuck. It is jewelry. It is jewelry. There we go. I hope you found this version of my first German live stream helpful. If you did and would like to see more live stream highlights, please do leave a comment. I can certainly do more. If you would like to continue learning German like this now, click on the playlist on the left to watch the full version of this video as well as the playbacks of the other German Duolingo live streams that I did on my other channel. If you are ready to get extra help with your German, please click on the video on the left for information about the best way to reach me about tutoring for German or for other languages.